In this video, we are going to talk about the top 10 deadliest natural disasters of all time. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. Every year, nearly 100,000 people perish in natural disasters: earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, hurricanes, tsunamis, floods, wildfires and droughts, while over 150 million are impacted by them, worldwide, according to the World Health Organization. Violent natural disasters have been a fact of human life since the beginning of mankind, but the death counts of the most ancient of these disasters are lost to history. The ancient Mediterranean island of Thera, now Santorini, Greece, experienced a catastrophic volcanic eruption that eradicated the entire Minoan civilization around 1600 BC, according to a 2020 study published in the journal Proceedings of the National Academies of Sciences. But exactly how many lives were lost? We'll never know. However, thanks to historical records and journals, historians can at least estimate the number of fatalities linked to disasters that occurred in the Common Era. According to such records, the following natural disasters are the deadliest of all time, ranked from lowest to highest estimated death toll. For those disasters for which a death toll range is given, the disaster is ranked by the highest end of the estimate. Here are the top 10 deadliest natural disasters of all time. Before we begin, why don't you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so that you never miss any of our videos. Let's begin. Number 10. 2010 Haiti earthquake, 100,000 to 230,000 deaths. On the 12th of January 2010, a catastrophic 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck approximately 16 miles west of Haiti's capital city of Port-au-Prince. Occurring at approximately 4:53 p.m., the earthquake was felt by nearly 3 million people, and set off an additional 52 aftershocks during the 2 weeks that followed, 4.5 magnitude or higher. Poor housing conditions, lack of preparation, and a lack of earthquake retrofitting proved catastrophic for the small island nation, resulting in the destruction of 250,000-plus homes, along with the collapse of 30,000-plus commercial buildings. Death tolls are difficult to estimate, and have been a matter of dispute for years. The Haitian government claims that approximately 222,000 people were killed. However, several investigations by foreign organizations have charged the Haitian government with artificially inflating numbers to receive greater humanitarian aid. More modern estimates place the number of dead at approximately 100,000. Number 9. 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake, 230,000 to 280,000 deaths. On the 26th of December 2005, an undersea earthquake with a magnitude of 9.3 struck the Indian Ocean, just west of Sumatra's northern coastline. The megathrust earthquake is believed to have been caused by a rupture along the fault that lies between both the Burma and Indian tectonic plates. Due to its intensity, a series of tsunami waves reaching heights of 100 feet were sent hurtling towards the coastlines surrounding the Indian Ocean, with Indonesia, India, Thailand, and Sri Lanka being the most affected areas with dire results. The earthquake was the third largest ever recorded in history, and lasted an astounding 8 to 9 minutes. Providing financial resources along with fresh water, food, and sanitation facilities helped contain the spread of disease, starvation, and dehydration considerably. In total, the international community contributed nearly $14 billion to the 18 nations affected by the disaster. Damages from the catastrophic event are estimated at $15 billion. Number 8. 1920 Haiyuan earthquake, 273,400 deaths. On the 16th of December 1920, a catastrophic 7.8 magnitude earthquake occurred in Haiyuan Country, Ningxia Province, Republic of China, killing an estimated 273,400 people, including individuals that died months later from complications. The quake resulted in a large number of aftershocks and landslides that contributed significantly to the overall damage. Moreover, numerous rivers were dammed from the sudden jarring motion of the quake, resulting in extreme flooding as the course of some rivers were completely diverted. In total, some 20,000 square kilometers were directly affected by the earthquake. Despite the tremendous death toll, many researchers believe that the event could have been far worse if not for the fact that the quake occurred in a predominantly rural area away from many of China's major cities. Number 7. 1976 Tangshan earthquake, 255,000 deaths, 700,000 injured. On the 28th of July 1976, a catastrophic earthquake struck Tangshan, Hebei, People's Republic of China at approximately 3:42 in the morning. Measuring in as a 7.6 magnitude quake, the city of Tangshan, which possessed nearly 1 million residents, were taken completely by surprise, as nearly 85% of the city's buildings were destroyed in a matter of minutes. At least 255,000 people died in the disaster, with several hundred thousand others seriously wounded. The Tangshan earthquake was particularly bad and unique in that the quake involved two separate shocks, one occurring in the morning, with the other happening later that afternoon. Nearly all of the city's services failed as a result of the quake, along with most of the area's infrastructure, including railways, highways, and bridges. 12 additional aftershocks also occurred in the days that followed, with magnitudes of at least 6 or greater, laying waste to many of China's coal mines in the area, and damaging infrastructure as far away as Beijing. Number 6. 526 Antioch earthquake, 250,000 to 300,000 deaths. In May of 526 AD, a massive earthquake hit Syria during the mid-morning hours, claiming at least 250,000 lives. Scientists believe that the earthquake was likely a 7.0 magnitude quake, with a Mercalli intensity scale rating between 8 severe and X violent. As its name implies, the disaster took place primarily around the ancient city of Antioch, the quake's epicenter, causing severe damage to the city's buildings and infrastructure, including Constantine's Domus Aurea Church. The most devastating aspect of the quake, however, lies with the large-scale fire that erupted during its aftermath. Lasting nearly a week, the fire destroyed nearly all of Antioch's buildings, and claimed numerous lives, including the famous Euphrasius, Patriarch of Antioch. Death tolls vary significantly due to the lack of documentation available from this time period. Scholars believe, however, that between 250,000 and 300,000 individuals lost their lives. Historians attribute the high number of fatalities to the fact that large numbers of visitors were present to celebrate Ascension Day in the city. Justin I is reported to have publicly mourned for the city's destruction in the months that followed, sending money and immediate relief so that Antioch could be rebuilt with haste. Currently, the 526 earthquake is considered the second worst earthquake in human history. Number 5. 1839 Koringa cyclone, 300,000 deaths. On the 25th of November 1839, a massive cyclone struck Koringa, India, a harbour city in Andhra Pradesh, producing a 40-foot-high storm surge that devastated the city. In its wake, the storm left 300,000 people dead, and destroyed over 25,000 ships, making it one of the deadliest storms in human history. Located on the Bay of Bengal, Koringa was once a busy port city, serving as a crucial source for trade between India and the world at large. Although Koringa had sustained massive cyclones in the past, including the Great Koringa Cyclone of 1789 that killed over 20,000 people, the city always rebounded from these natural disasters with ease, becoming both prosperous and heavily populated by the mid-1800s. Number 4. 1970 Bola cyclone, 500,000 deaths. On the 12th of November 1970, a powerful cyclone made landfall along the coast of East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, inflicting massive damage on the poorly prepared region. Reaching sustained winds of 115 miles per hour, the storm delivered a 33-foot-high storm surge that devastated local communities. Approximately 3.6 million people were directly impacted by the storm, with nearly 85% of all homes and buildings destroyed or severely damaged along the coast. The powerful cyclone is believed to have killed nearly 500,000 people, including 46,000 fishermen, crippling the area's fishing capabilities for several years, as 9,000 boats were also destroyed. Landslides, flooding, and torrential rain also destroyed countless crops and livestock in both India and Pakistan during the weeks that followed. Number 3. 1556 Shaanxi earthquake, 830,000 deaths. On the morning of the 23rd of January 1556, China's Ming dynasty witnessed the most powerful earthquake in human history around its Shaanxi province. The earthquake, which is believed to have been an 8.0 magnitude quake, according to modern calculations, affected an 840-kilometer area, approximately 520 square miles, and included 97 different counties in China. With many of Shaanxi's population living in Yaodongs at this time, artificial caves built into cliffs, the quake was particularly devastating due to the fact that many of these caves simply collapsed, killing thousands in their homes. In many areas, imperial records from the time indicate that over 60% of the region's population was killed by the quake. In total, official records indicate that over 830,000 Chinese people lost their lives from the disaster, as countless landslides, flooding from blocked waterways, and aftershocks that lasted for half a year wreaked havoc on the area. Places as far as 310 miles from the quake's epicenter also experienced death and destruction, with buildings in Beijing, Shanghai, and Chengdu incurring significant structural damage from the disaster. Number 2. 1887 Yellow River Flood, 900,000 deaths. In September of 1887, torrential rains resulted in one of the deadliest natural disasters in recorded history, as China's Yellow River escaped its banks and flooded an estimated 50,000 square miles of northern China. Scholars attribute the disaster to farmers living near the river who, over a period of several centuries, constructed elaborate dikes to prevent the Yellow River from naturally flooding each year. With centuries of silt depositing itself along the bottom of the river, due to its inability to flood outward, water levels naturally rose as a result, swelling the Yellow River to unprecedented heights in the years that followed. As heavy rain set in for several days in September 1887, dikes near the city of Zhengzhou, Henan province, could no longer hold the water at bay, allowing the river to flow uncontrollably throughout the low-lying plains that surrounded it. To this day, the 1887 Yellow River flood remains one of the world's worst natural disasters in terms of both devastation and deaths. Number 1. Central China flood of 1931, 2 million to 3.7 million deaths. In 1931, China experienced the worst natural disaster in human history as floods from the Yellow, Yangtze, Pearl, and Huai rivers combined with flooding from the Grand Canal inundated much of central China. The disaster was the result of numerous factors, occurring over a period of several months. Melting ice and snow from China's mountains combined with heavy rains throughout the spring, summer, and autumn forced each of China's major rivers outside of their banks, resulting in a flood zone that covered an area approximately 180,000 square kilometers, equivalent to the size of England and half of Scotland combined. At its peak, scholars estimate that as many as 53 million people were directly affected by the flooding, with death tolls reaching an estimated 3.7 million people. What do you think of our list? Which of the disasters shocked you the most? Let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.